Hola, buenos dias. Good morning. My name is Adeline Marchini, and my pronouns are she, her. I serve gratefully as president of the Board of Trustees. Mi nombre es Adelina Marchini. Mis pronombres son ella, y sirvo con gratitud como presidente de su junta directiva. I am delighted to welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno, California. Welcome to everyone on our virtual campus. Welcome to everyone here on our Alluvial Avenue campus. And welcome to everyone savoring the service later on Facebook and YouTube. We are one congregation in many places. Somos una congregación en muchos lugares. Our monthly worship theme for May is the path of creativity. Today we will explore creativity by exploring the origin of love from different perspectives. We acknowledge that our Alluvial Avenue campus sits within the traditional homelands of the Yokuts people, who are the past, present, and future stewards of this land. As Unitarian Universalists, we welcome you no matter your race, culture of origin, age, spiritual background, or religious beliefs. We welcome you and your neurodiversity. This is a safe, spiritual place, no matter your level of formal education, the amount of money in your bank account, or your disabilities. We celebrate those of us who are lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, non-binary, or gender fluid. You are welcome here with or without documentation, con papeles o sin papeles. All are welcome here. Todos son bienvenidos aquí. If you are on our virtual campus and you want to include your joys, sorrows, or concerns or gratitudes in today's service, just text them to us at 559-209-4977. Again, that's 559-209-4977. But you have to do that right now, so we have time to gather them, to share them later in the service. And please be sure to text your name as well so we know who you are. I would like to invite all of you to our annual church meeting today, immediately following the service. We will hold a dual platform meeting, so both in person here in the sanctuary and virtually on Zoom. For those joining us virtually, please use the Zoom link that was provided via the Constant Contact announcement. In today's meeting, we will elect the 2023-24 Board of Trustees and approve the 23-24 budget. So please stay and participate in the governance of our church, as a quorum is necessary for these approvals. Now, here on our Alluvial Avenue sanctuary, in the chat box or in the silence of our hearts, let's take a moment to say buenos dias and greet one another.
Buenos dias. Mi nombre es Timoteo, and my pronouns are he and him, and I have the great joy of serving as your minister here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno. You know, I want you to take a moment and just touch in with the love that's in your heart right now. Let's just do that for a moment. Now, if that love had a voice, if that love could sing, it would sound just like our musical guest this morning, Merlinda. As I said to Merlinda when she came into the sanctuary, just hearing her voice makes my heart smile. And so, I'm going to invite you to have your heart smile along with Merlinda. And there's going to be a beat to this music. So if you feel inspired and you want to stand up and start to move, we could have a little Sunday morning dance party to start us off. But first, let's let this ancient sound of the tingja carry us back into that place that touches the love within us all.
One, two, three, four.
Good morning or evening, friends. Here's your friendly announcer. I have serious news to pass on to everybody. What I'm about to say could mean the world's disaster, could change your joy and laughter and tears and pain. Is that love's in need of love today? Don't delay, send your sin right away. And hate's going round, and it's breaking my heart. And stop it please, before it's gone too far. Oh, the force of hatred has become the world's obsession, and if we let it destroy everybody, we all must take precautionary measures. If love and peace you treasure, then you'll hear me when I say is that love's in need of love today. Don't delay, send it right away. Oh, and hey, it's going round, breaking many hearts. today. One more time. Hey, love's in need of love today. Love's in need of love today.
Ever heard the line, that's a tough act to follow? Wonderful. I'm all worn out already. I want to wish everyone a very good morning. And buenos dias. It's gorgeous out there. I am, can you hear me? Okay, there I am. I still am Diana Ingram, and I serve proudly and gratefully on our worship team, worship arts team. My pronouns are she and her. If I sound a little weird, I was up all night with the granddaughter in premature labor, so which we're hoping is on hold, but I apologize because I'm a little bit dizzy, or than normal. If you have a chalice or a candle with you on our virtual campus, bring it close because we will be lighting it soon. Now, light has been the source of warmth, of safety, of knowledge, of comfort, and yes, of love. Love, since time began. Light gives us hope, gives us guidance, gives us compassion. And each week, when we light our chalice, I feel a kindling, an invisible bond between all of you in our church. This invisible bond between each other ties together our past, our present, and our future as our lives are intertwined. Our symbol, our chalice, fits like a glove, with today's message of love. We all seek it, we all need it, we all give it, we all bask in it, and it all ties together with our principles of the Universalist Unitarian Church of Fresno. It is in love that we reach out to others and we seek to be our better selves. We strive each day to better embrace our guiding principles. So in that spirit, please light your chalice at home. And Tim, will you please kindle the flame on our Alluvial Avenue chalice?
I kindle our sacred fire.
We're kindled. That sounds only in the nicest possible way. Okay, let us all rise now in body and in spirit and join in singing the song of praise. Love will guide us.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Great to giving, love will guide.
I invite us to remain standing as we say together the words of our church covenant. We affirm that love is the doctrine of this church, the quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. We strive to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow in harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other. El amor es la doctrina de esta iglesia, la búsqueda de la verdad es su sacramento, y el servicio es su oración. Habitar juntos en paz, buscar la verdad con libertad, y servir a la humanidad juntos con el fin de que todas las almas puedan crecer en armonía con lo divino. Esto es lo que pactamos unos con otros. Please be seated. Last June, our congregation voted to adopt an 8th principle, adding it to the already existing 7 profound and beautiful principles of Unitarian Universalism. Our 8th principle challenges us to look within our own selves, within our congregation, and within our denomination at large, to see the original stain of white supremacy culture and begin the difficult, long, and ongoing path to transform, truly transform into a beloved community. Here to talk about this challenge of the 8th principle is longtime church member, pillar of the church, and I think she won't mind my saying, true matriarch of the church, from our virtual campus, Nancy Richardson.
I've had decades to think about and observe racism and other oppressions. It's my observation that we human beings tend to want to define our own responsibility narrowly. For example, you might hear somebody say, "I never personally took part in any lynchings, so don't ask me to be involved in reparations." Or, "At work I do my task, whatever they put on my desk, I do that, but it's not my problem to think about what happens before or after what I do." And there's a matter of hurt feelings. I really don't want to hurt the feelings of my coworkers or my neighbors when they say or do something that I think is just reprehensible. Okay, so we're a work in progress. I am, we all are. However, my advice is tackle something. See something, tackle it, name it, study it, learn the history of it. Don't just assume that, hey, this is my opinion, and that you don't really have to learn any more about it. Know what you're talking about, describe it fully, and then find a corner that you could tear off. If you feel overwhelmed at the size of a project, just tear off a little bit, do it. Just keep on doing it, then another and another and another. Don't wait for the perfect answers, because there aren't any. Just start by starting. Do it. Thank you.
The great poet Mary Oliver asks, "Listen, are you breathing just a little and calling it a life?" In that spirit, I invite us to together take in a breath, imagining we're breathing in the peace that we yearn for. We hold a moment, we breathe out love. And again, breathing in peace, we hold a moment. We breathe out love. One more time together. Breathing in peace, we hold, we breathe out love. As we continue breathing together, each at our own pace, each at our own depth, just let your imagination carry you back over the last week, the last 7 days of living, the gift, the true gift of being alive. And as you journey with your breath and imagination through the last week, a question. In the last week, how were you part of the world's love and not its hate? Someone once said that we join together each week to be recalled to our best selves again. As Nancy said, none of us are perfect. We're all a work in progress. So we come here carrying with us our concerns, our joys, our sorrows, our gratitude. Some of us stopped at the small table at the entranceway to the church. Others of us texted those thoughts and feelings to us. And this is some of what is alive in the room and on our virtual campus today. It is Mark Wise's birthday, so a happy birthday to Mark. Ida is feeling gratitude for the awesome time spent with Jamie, Can, and Avery in Fresno on Saturday. Andrea is feeling gratitude and joy for a San Francisco visit with Kismet, her daughter, visiting the Golden Gate Park, Japanese Garden, Tea and Symphony at Davies Hall. And Jamie Jones is grateful to be back on the Alluvial Avenue campus for service today. And Jamie, welcome home. It's good to have you. We continue to surround you with much love and light. Deborah, here on our Alluvial Avenue campus, although usually on our virtual campus in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, wants to thank Cheyenne for coordinating the Auction Yosemite tour yesterday. A beautiful day with fun companions, Carrie, Katie, and Billy. The waterfalls were fantastic. Also a joy from Jim. I like that, a joy from Jim. Longtime UUer Harold Hill is with us today from Santa Barbara. Welcome. Welcome home. Now I have to read, I've commanded by Jody Palmer. She said, Tim, read every word, because you knew I was going to just let that slide by, but I will honor Jody's request. Jody is feeling great joy that May marks the 8th anniversary of Reverend Tim coming to our congregation. Okay. No. Thank you. Okay. And I didn't read the last two words, and Jody glared at me, so I'm going to, she wrote, lucky us. Also today, one sorrow in our midst, Carolita is mourning the loss of a dear amiga. We also want to remember our beloveds, those who are unable to be with us most of the time because of poor health or mobility. And so we remember Margaret H., Bev F., Glenda R., Pat M., but Babs is with us in the sanctuary today. Looking beyond our congregation, we continue celebrating Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And unfortunately, we have to acknowledge that Wednesday and Friday were terrible days for freedom, compassion, and understanding in our country. We decry the cruel, politically motivated bills passed on Wednesday in Texas and Florida that continue the widespread fundamentalist attack on trans kids and their families. Texas passed a law banning gender-affirming health care to kids under 18, and the governor of Florida, who will remain nameless, signed an even more draconian bill that makes it a felony for health care providers to administer gender-affirming care to kids under 18. This, I say, is sinful. Nebraska followed this cruel path on Friday, banning gender-affirming health care for trans children and youth, and also banning abortion after 12 weeks. And so, in the light of all that's been shared, and in the light of this fundamentalist travesty, we light our candle of community, reminding us that we are not alone, but we are connected to good people of progressive faith throughout this country. We need our meditation on breathing today. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out out love.
When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Cuando respiro, respiro paz. Cuando exhalo, exhalo amor. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Cuando respiro, respiro paz. Cuando exhalo, exhalo amor. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Cuando respiro, respiro paz. Cuando exhalo, exhalo amor.
Our words of prayer and reflection come from the poetic heart of Etina O. Danner. She identifies as unapologetically Black and writes to create beloved community. Her words are called Simple Parts of Faith. Let us join our hearts and minds in the spirit of reflection or prayer. Let us pray. I believe in my breath and heartbeat, in the woven, grasping roots of trees. I may not see or hear how things move underneath, still I believe. I believe in my slow return to the earth, in the simple quintessence of darkness, the necessity of light and heart, in my oneness with water, I believe. Every swallow, a prayer, every waking, an answer. Each moment we reach toward safety and invocation, the simplest act of faith. Because I believe in the power of words, of intention expressed, of gratitude and of creation, the unfurling of purposeful language might be a prayer or incantation every time I seek more than what is already there. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
Por un amor me desvelo y vivo apasionada. Tengo un amor que en mi vida dejó para siempre amargo dolor. Pobre de mí, esta vida es mejor que se acabe, no es para mí. Cuánto sufre mi pecho que late tan solo por ti. Por un amor he llorado gotitas de sangre del corazón. Me has dejado con el alma herida, sin compasión. Y pobre de mí, esta vida es mejor que se acabe, no es para mí. Pobre de mí, pobre de mí. Cuando sufre mi pecho que late tan solo por ti.
That gets you going? Good morning again, and I'm still Diana Ingram. You know, I wonder who wrote the book of love? Does anybody know? Seriously, does anybody know? Well, whoever did, can you imagine the royalties they have made off of this thing? Seriously, a lot of suffering there. A lot of good stuff too. Certainly, the origin of love is one of the biggest questions probably since the beginning of the beginning. Love, where would we be without it? Well, it's pretty sure to say that none of us would be here without it. Pretty sure. So just what is the real origin of love? That question would probably get a different answer if I asked every one of you. They'd probably be all different answers. It really does make you wonder, though, doesn't it? How about you? Sydney, do you wonder about who wrote the book of love? In your studies of archaeology, we still don't know. You know, it's just the question. For those of us old enough, the $64,000 question, which would have to be $64 million now. Now, with me, before my brain got a wee bit clearer, I would have said, romantic love. I would have listed the myriad emotions of love that run from A to Z. It had been heaven sent to us. Or was it Cupid's arrow? Or divine fate, maybe? Love eternal. Unless, of course, somebody else better comes along for somebody else. Then all bets are off. Then, wanting to sound more intuitive, more intelligent, I might have done a deep dive into formal religion, very proper religion, and I would have said that love was from God, as it was God that gave our life meaning, and thus it must be the true meaning of meaningful love, and that was eternal, right? Well, maybe. No, I am sure that it is our family that creates the real origin of love, this human form of love. That must be the origin that mattered. Was it not the source of true immortality, deep satisfaction, truest reward, what made us whole? It is pure love that you do freely and without any expectation. That has to be the origin of love. Then I discovered Ralph Waldo Emerson. And I found a unique answer from a location I would not have included before: nature. Why, even now, after saying it, my ears are kind of amazed that I said it. To think about the network of connectedness that the domino game of nature provides. It transcends time. The air we breathe, the ground we walk on, the food we eat, the beauty we admire, the animals we love, our very existence. Heavy stuff. Are they not all interconnected? And if so, how can they not be, in their sum, not be the origin of love? Is it not the creation of love that we embrace in a tree, in a flower, in a bird, in a lion, in a stream, in a mountain, in lover and beloved, mother and child, day and night? The idea that they may all be part of the origin of love is an explosive thought. Still gives me a headache. But I decided then to ask my own true love for the answer. I asked my dog Yogi. I thought that he might have a different take on it. You know, he has that canine thing going, you know, so a different way. And Yogi answered with all of his great wisdom, I have sensed from watching the dear creatures who live around us that we all are part of the whole, with a center that radiates love. It is confirmed by the alternating moon we see at night. See why I love the dog? The clouds that proclaim that the weather comes our way. The answer is all around you, Mom. I agreed with Yogi. Yes, my new miniature world has been a classroom for us both. This new knowledge comes to us as we learn that love should not be the cause of pain, but instead help us to grow a larger share of love that we put back out into the world to circulate love in all of its forms, in all of its parts, in harmony for perpetuity. So I ask you, what is the origin of love? We all are.
I invite us to rise in body or spirit, and let's gently and lovingly sing, There is a love, hay un amor.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Please be seated. Let's hear it for Stolen Thunder as they depart. Poet Mary Oliver writes, "In this universe, we are given two gifts, the ability to love and the ability to ask questions, which are at the same time the fires that warm us and the fires that scorch us." So, it was one of those phone calls that starts off not so well and then swiftly goes downhill. Yeah, we've all had those. I was returning a call, innocently returning a call to someone who had left a voicemail asking to talk about Unitarian Universalism. I dialed the number, the phone rang, someone answered. I introduced myself. Hi, it's Reverend Tim Kutzmark from the Unitarian Universalist Church in Fresno. I thank them for their interest in Unitarian Universalism, and I asked them how they had heard about the church. They replied, "A friend said you were the devil's church." Remember, I said it was one of those phone calls that starts off not so well and then swiftly goes downhill. "I don't think we're actually the devil's church," I replied. "I like to think that we're love's church." I did my best to answer their continuing stream of questions, trying to help them understand that Unitarian Universalism wasn't a satanic cult, but a legitimate, honest-to-goodness religion. Finally, in a burst of anger, the person exclaimed, "If you don't have the Holy Bible as your book of truth, if you don't have Jesus to save you, if you don't have God to obey, what do you have in your religion?" I paused a moment, then said, "We have love." The person snapped back, "If you don't believe the Bible is the Word of God, what could possibly be the origin of your love?" Throughout the ages, all cultures and religions have created stories to explain the origins of things. Things like, how was the earth created? How did the constellations form in the sky? Where did the ocean come from? Why does the elephant have a trunk? Who created human beings? Did we exist before we were born? And like that person on the phone, what is the origin of love? One of my favorite origin of love stories come from the myths of ancient Greece. It's from the writings of Plato, from his book called the Symposium. As recounted on the website regain.us, the setting for this origin of love story is an after-dinner discussion between several great Greek thinkers, including the philosopher Socrates, the aristocrat intellectual Phaedrus, and the comic playwright Aristophanes. Now, you got to know, those gathered together were kind of tipsy and loose-lipped, the result of an ample flow of wine throughout the meal. Yeah. They proceeded to offer speeches in honor of Eros, the god of love. The website regain.us recounts this origin of love as first told by Aristophanes. A long time ago, there existed 3 different types of human beings. Now, I pause to note that Aristophanes told his story from a binary understanding of gender. If he were telling it today, I like to think he'd craft a story to include non-binary identity as well. So, Aristophanes writes, a long time ago, there existed 3 different kind of people. The male, who came from the sun, the female, who came from the earth, the androgynous figure, who came from the moon and had both male and female aspects. These 3 types of humans were called the children of the sun, the children of the earth, and the children of the moon. Now, each of these early humans had a round body with 4 arms and 4 legs, 8 limbs in total. They also had 2 faces, one on each side of their head, and 4 ears. When they walked both forward and backward, and they ran by doing cartwheels, giving them a circular motion. Now, despite looking rather goofy in appearance and movement, these early humans were also incredibly powerful, and they wanted to exercise that power. They devised a plan to head up to the heavens and take on the gods there to conquer them. In response, Zeus, the king of the gods, used thunderbolts to split the humans in half, separating them into two bodies. So now we have multiple pairs of newly separated male bodies, newly separated female bodies, and newly separated male and female bodies. Zeus then scattered these human beings far and wide, separating each from their other half. This is where the concept of looking for one's other half comes from. Some males sought their other halves, who were also male. Some females sought other females, their other half. And some males sought their other halves who were females, while likewise some females sought their other halves who were male. This, according to Aristophanes, is the origin of love. Gay love, lesbian love, and straight love. There they were, separate, looking for one another's half. The website continues. And once these human types were lucky enough to find the other half, they would cling to each other so they would never be separated again. Aristophanes then issued a real warning that humans should not repeat their mistakes in thinking they could take on the gods. They should fear and worship gods, or else they may risk being cut in half yet again, which would result in their hopping around on one leg. That would be very difficult. But if humanity chose to work with Eros, the god of love, then we can avoid such a fate and instead find our other half and once again be whole. The origin of love. Now, this is kind of an awesome, but also when you think about it, thunderbolts being cut in half, bloody half bodies jumping around. It's a pretty awful myth to describe the origin of love, or at least the origin of romantic love. But Unitarian Universalism, and this is really important, Unitarian Universalism is a religion without myths. Our human ability to reason led our Unitarian and Universalist predecessors to let go of stories that, while being symbolic, did not reflect reality. Religious myths may be considered true stories by some religious people around the world, but for Unitarian Universalists, we believe that the stories we tell about the world and the meaning of life must have a basis in reality and must be compatible with science. As Unitarian Universalists, I am happy to testify that we do have a story about the origin of love. Our story meets that rational and scientific criteria. But before I share it, and I know you can't wait to hear it, I'd like to shift our exploration of Aristophanes' romantic love toward a broader and more universal love. Now, love is one of those words that gets used so much that we sometimes lose sense of what we're really talking about. When we say love is the center of our faith, what are we saying? What does it mean? One of my spiritual teachers showed me this terrific and specific way to understand love. And whenever I'm pulled away in kind of that vagueness of love, I remember this. They first wrote out the word love. They then separated the letters apart, L-O-V-E. So, with this formula, love became living out the value of everyone and everything. That is the meaning of love. If we want to stay aligned with love, we need to intentionally be living out the value of everyone and everything in every moment and in every way. And that, my friends, is not easy. We must act as if everyone and everything has value always. We have to act as if everyone and everything always is worthy of respect and understanding, to not be seen or treated as the other or expendable or as a resource to be used up or cast away. So, what's a way for us to tell the origin of love that doesn't hearken back to myth, but that also challenges us to act responsibly to other human beings and to this earth home that we all share? Where can we find such a story of the origin of love? Well, we need only look to the Big Bang that brought all existence into being. We need only look at the subsequent 13.8 billion years of the universe's slow, often cataclysmic evolution into the life we human beings embody today. The evolution of the cosmos into consciousness is the origin of love. I'm going to say that again. The evolution of the cosmos into consciousness is the origin of your love. Let me explain. Unitarian Universalist minister Robert Walsh tells this true story of the origin of love. Using evocative poetry describing the 13.8 billion using evocative poetry, Robert Walsh describes the 13.8 billion year creative process initiated by the Big Bang. He describes the evolution of human consciousness. These are his words. Out of the stars in their flight, out of the dust of eternity, here we have come. Stardust and starlight, mingling through time and through space. Out of the stars we have come, up from time. Out of the stars we have come. Time out of time, before time, in the vastness of space, Earth spun to orbit the sun. Earth, with the thunder of mountains newborn, the boiling of seas, Earth warmed by sun, lit by starlight, this is our home. Out of the stars we have come. Mystery in mystery, back through all time. Mystery rising from rocks in storm and sea, out of the stars, rising from rocks and sea, kindled by the sunlight on earth, arose life. Ponder this thing in your heart. Life crawled up from the sea, eyes to behold, throats to sing, mates to love. Life from the sea, warmed by sun, washed by rain, life from within, giving birth, rose to love. This is the wonder of time. This is the marvel of space. Out of the stars swung the earth. Life upon earth rose to love. This is the marvel of life, rising to see and to know. Out of your heart, cry wonder. Sing that we live. Sing that life upon earth rose to love. Sing that we upon earth rose to love. This is the origin of love. Through human beings, Through us, creation itself has, for the first time, evolved and developed the consciousness that can become aware of life's interconnection and our responsibility to it. We are the universe become conscious of itself. We are the universe become conscious of itself. Would you say that with me? It's awesome. We are the universe become conscious of itself. One more time. We are the universe become conscious of itself. Now, the ethic that rises from this consciousness is love. Living out the value of everything and everyone in every moment and in every way. As Reverend Susan Frederick Ray writes, these are our Unitarian Universalist values, calling us to live in the reality of our world while remembering that no one is outside the circle of love. We who are Unitarian Universalists not only affirm the inherent worth of every person, we also affirm the inherent wholeness of every being despite apparent brokenness. With compassion as our guide, we seek the well-being of all people, not just a subset. We seek to dismantle systems of oppression that undermine our collective humanity. We believe that we're here to guide one another toward love. No one is outside the circle of love. Would you say that with me? No one is outside the circle of love. One more time with gusto. No one is outside the circle of love. But I would expand that to say we who are Unitarian Universalists affirm the inherent wholeness of everything that shares this earth home with us. All plants and growing things, all creatures, great and small, the waters of the world, the air within the skies, the mountains and our valley, the deserts and rainforests, the massive and the microscopic. We affirm the interdependent oneness of all things. With compassion as our guide, we seek the well-being of the whole. We seek to dismantle anything that undermines life's collective unity. Nothing is outside the circle of love. Nothing is outside the circle of love. Que así sea, bendito sea. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
Dance me through the panic till I'm gathered safely in. Lift me like an olive branch and be my homeward dove, and dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love. Let me see your beauty when the witnesses are gone. Let me feel you moving like they do in Babylon. Show me slowly only what I know the limits of, and dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love. Oh, and dance me to the wedding now. Dance me on and on. Dance me very tenderly and dance me very long. We're both of us beneath our love. We're both of us above. Oh, and dance me to the end of love. Ooh, and dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the drums that are beating before. Dance me through the curtains that our kisses have outworn. Raise a tent of shelter now, though every thread is torn. Oh, and dance me to the end of love. Ooh, dance me to the end of love. And dance me to your beauty with a burning violin. Dance me through the panic till I'm gathered safely in. Touch me with your naked hand. Touch me with your glove. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love. Oh, dance me to the end of love.
I think I would. I would dance till the end of them. On this Sunday, we are holding a special offering for a social justice group. It's very dear to me because I'm a member of the Social Justice Committee. And we are honoring a social justice group or an organization or individual that is in alignment with our Unitarian Universalist values. This Sunday, we are so pleased to welcome Andrea Dazu-Baria.
Thank you, Diana, and thank you for wearing your CCL pin. Good morning. Yeah, there you go. We've got some slides coming up. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Almost afternoon. And thank you so much for selecting Citizens Climate Lobby Fresno for this collection. As the chapter leader for CCL Fresno, I get to work with these delightful people and many others. You might recognize a few UU people. How many of you UU folks are also CCL members? Quite a few. Thank you so much. This congregation has contributed generously the past few years to CCL, and we really appreciate your support. Next slide. Last year, your donations helped us to send these 3 amazing young people to a climate conference in Washington, D.C. And Gabe, Abby, and Anna, they came back from there energized to put on a candidate forum, spiff up our social media, and also to speak eloquently, like 14-year-old Anna here at the Fox Theater in Visalia. In these divisive times, our volunteer organization seeks to connect people to help us work together for solutions to our shared future and to solve the climate chaos. And we still do support our price on carbon. Many of you are familiar with that, but we've added some things. We've added electrifying transportation and buildings, seeking to support healthy forests and urban trees, and also streamlining the process to get permitting for clean energy projects. So we do this by building relationships with members of Congress, with our community, and with the media. We work to pass legislation to lower the greenhouse gases that are causing our climate chaos. And last year, we helped pass the Inflation Reduction Act. Yay! Woohoo! So now, among any other things, we're lobbying to protect the climate provisions to that. And next month, we're going to be sending these 3 more amazing students to Washington, D.C. And this year, yay for post-pandemic, they get to actually go to the offices of our Valley members of Congress and meet with folks from that office. So Ashley, Shiv, and Alex are all these smart, confident, and truly kind young people that I want to support because they give me hope for a future. I need hope, and I think other people do too. But travel costs have gone up. So CCL put on a yard sale at the Earth Day Fresno event, and we were able to raise enough money to pay for the flight and hotel for one of the students, and I'm here today hoping that you'll support us to help us send the other 2, and maybe if we're lucky, pay for some quality carbon offsets too. I thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you for your time, too.
Thank you so much, Andrea. The circle of the earth, we're in it. Now, in the spirit of giving, and giving to such wonderful things as this project, let us join our voices in our call of offering, which will appear on the screen. Magic. Okay. If not us, then who? If not open hearts, then what? If not now, then when? If not here, then where? If not generously, then how? If not us, then who? Now here is a slide showing how you can make a financial contribution right on our virtual campus. Or if you are on the virtual campus, or if you are on the Alluvial Avenue campus. Sleep is a wonderful thing. I'll try it. You can always drop cash or checks in the basket on your way out of the sanctuary, but don't forget we have a meeting afterwards. Or you can share generously right now in this moment by using Cash App. Just send your contributions to $UU Fresno. That's $, because I know none of you have ever heard this before. $UU Fresno. The morning offering will now be gratefully received. As we prepare to leave our world that is Universalist Unitarian Church, I want to thank you, all of you. I want to thank our wonderful congregation, our wonderful music team. And can we have our vocalist stand one more time, because you need another applause. Amazing, amazing. And I also want to thank the voice of inspiration and wisdom that pulls us all together as a community.
And
Tim.
to also thank Adeline for participating, and from our virtual campus, Nancy.
Yes,
So
yes,
great.
yes.
Thank you.
Yes. But you too. Okay. Each week as I walk up our amazing front sidewalk, and I hope you stop and read that often, on that path of love and wisdom, just before I enter our sanctuary, I'm filled with sort of a warm flush. It is like a leap of joy, knowing that I am entering my new home, where I will be joined by my fellow travelers on this adventure trying to know and share our unselfish love that expands to include our earth and all that we share in it. I believe that we feed each other with our hopes and concern. Community is such a beautiful word. Our church community is a brilliant source of light. We are blessed. So as we prepare to end our service and enter our afternoon, would you please join us in our chalice extinguishing words led by Karen and Troy.
Extinguimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón.
We
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts.
Now, I believe, is it possible, Tim, you have a few reminders?
I do. How did you know that?
I
First,
just-
let's hear it for Diana, worship associate. So if you are new or newish to our church community, Patty Bennett is our coordinator of community life. Just look for her outside. She is a font of wisdom and connection for everything that you need to know about how to get more connected here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno. As Adeline told us at the beginning of the service, but just in case you forgot, today, immediately after the service, will be our annual meeting. Adeline wanted to lock the doors so no one could leave. I told her that would break a fire code, but we do hope that all members do remain. And if you are a friend of the church and just want to see how we govern ourselves, come on in for the party. We will still have coffee hour out in the quad if you prefer. Usually there's a question and answer table with the board member. We won't have that out here this week, but it will be next week. And I have a personal invitation for you to join me on June 3rd, Saturday, June 3rd, for Fresno's annual Pride Parade. We always march in support of the LGBTQIA+ community, and I hope you'll gather with me and with us at around 9:45 Olive and Palm Avenue. Remember, hats and sunscreen because it will be a warm Saturday morning. Last but not least, we like to invite folks who are with us for the first, second, or third time to rise for just a moment because we genuinely want to welcome you. And you're doing it. So welcome. If first, second, or third time, welcome, welcome, welcome. I invite the rest of the congregation to rise with them for our closing words and our sung benediction. If you came in a pod, please join hands. If not, hands over your precious, beautiful, beating human heart. Our closing words are these. Go now in peace. May you leave this place knowing you are good and knowing you are loved. Take your love from this place and share it with the world. Stay safe until we meet again. And may the longtime sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and that pure light that is within you guide your way on. Blessed be. Amen. Shalom and assalamu alaikum.